Thank you for joining today's Tech Bite episode. My name is Corinne Bissett, and I am joined here by Javier, who's going to be covering a really exciting product that we've been kind of talking about a little bit here. You want to introduce yourself, Javier?
Sure, great to be here. Javier Perez, I'm Senior Director of Product Marketing. I cover all things security at Veeam. My background, it's been on application security and open source security from technical roles, solution architect, product management, and now covering product marketing and some evangelism as well. Always happy to chat about technology.
Thank you. So something we really like to do here, and many of you are already posting in the chat, is we like to see where everyone is from and listening in. I'm here in Ohio, so are a lot of our producers, and in Texas. Javier, where are you at today?
I'm in San Francisco at RSAC conference.
That's exciting.
That's a little early. No, it's not bad. And I live in the Boston area, Massachusetts.
Fantastic. And what are you here to talk about with us today?
Recon Scanner, one of our latest features for Veeam, and we have a good story to tell you about, where it's coming from, what it does, some customer use cases. So happy to be here and chat about it.
Fantastic. Let's just hop right in. Give us the introduction. What is this, and why should anyone care about this?
That's a good question. So some people here knows that Veeam acquired Cofware. It's been a year now, since March 2024, and Cofware is really a leader in the space on incident response, specifically around cyber extortion, ransomware attacks, helping customers when they are in the middle of that situation, right? And they've been developing technology. One of the patent pending tools is this recon scanner. And this is the first technology that we bring from Cofware to the Veeam data platform. And it's a feature now that it's a feature to be proactive, to prevent cyber attacks, cyber incidents. We call it a proactive threat assessment. And whereas we've been using recon for over 6-7 years now when helping customers in the middle of attack, we have a different use case for the same technology now, but being proactive, right? Helping our customers being proactive and monitoring their Veeam environments.
And what does this actually monitor? Is it more the physical machines or something else that's being monitored in this situation?
Yeah, so the way it works is it's a lightweight software agent that you install on your servers. We recommend the backup servers and the different servers that are within the Veeam environment. And it collects data, and it collects from log files, from network information, from events, right? It's collecting events. And then the key part here, where the secret sauce is it maps the information coming from these events into TTPs, tactical techniques and procedures, the MITRE ATT&CK framework list of TTPs. By the way, there are more than 400 techniques, just techniques. And we map that. So as Recon Scanner sees suspicious activity, it maps that to TTP, which will gives us really good indication of what's happening or what's about to happen. And that's another key piece here. When Recon Scanner detects that suspicious activity or those TTPs, it's because you've been already compromised or you are in the process of being compromised. And that's before an attack, right? And that's what is known as in cybersecurity as the dwell time, meaning the time that between the time that you were compromised and the time of the attack, the execution of the encryption or the execution of the exfiltration, on the execution of the attack. So that time between compromise and attack, that's a dwell time. Recon it's built for that, right? If in this use case, being proactive is be able to identify and then take an action based on that.
Now, I know this is going to be lobbing you a question I did not prepare you for, but I really am curious. How does this differ from just using the standard AV that you have on your like on-premises environment, already doing all of that work for you? What's the real differentiator for wanting Recon Scanner also in your environment?
No, thanks for the question. That's important. So when I said the mapping from this suspicious activity, these events, to the TTPs, the MITRE ATT&CK framework TTPs, we're also including here the expertise from Coveware, basically the expertise from dealing with really thousands of real life ransomware attacks, cyber attacks that we work with our customers. Every single case is documented. So we have not only a very large database of all these different cases where we can recognize the different ways the threat actors go about it, right? The different indicators of compromise, but also the expertise from our reverse engineering experts, from our negotiators. So all of that, it's included, and that's how we keep perfecting Recon Scanner, which means we have a different perspective on just collecting data and reporting on potential threats, which you see on many cybersecurity tools. This is obviously focused on the Veeam environments. We don't position this as it's going to replace a security tool. I mean, obviously, we recommend always, good practice in cybersecurity is, go multi-layers of security, right? Make sure that you cover all your different layers, from network to APIs to application security, and of course your data security. But another point, actually very interesting, and I'm going to talk about a customer use case later, is that we find also that some smaller organizations, they might not have the budget for all these latest cybersecurity tools, and they are taking advantage of Recon Scanner that comes as part of Veeam Data Platform, right? So I'll tell you about that use case in a couple of minutes.
That's a really interesting conversation to have, where an organization, they don't have budget for certain things, but they have budgets for others, and being able to multi-use any type of software helps you kind of pull that fractional from across the organization. Now,
Well, yeah.
Yeah, do you
I'm
have
sorry, I
another
was
point
just going to
there?
add that's that's a key part of the strategy for Veeam, right? Across all our products, we continue to add more and more security features, right? So in the case of Veeam Data Platform, version 12.3 came with this Recon Scanner functionality, the proactive threat assessment, but it also came with other really good, very important security features to detect, for example, hacker tools, or to detect, malware. Right? We have one of the best malware detection there in the market. Looking for millions of different malware strains, variations, and so on. So that's a trend that I think Veeam is doing really, really well, which is we are good at what we do in terms of the core functionality, but we continue to add more security features.
Fantastic. Now, I know we talked about the map at the beginning, but I do want to bring it back up, bring it at the forefront, and just encourage anyone that is logging in and joining us now. If you've not before, just type in the chat where you're from, let us know, and we'll actually highlight on this map where you're at and where you're located, and you'll get to see. All right. So you talked about us looking at the use cases. So let's take a look at the interface. Do you want to walk us through what we're looking at in this interface and what to expect from that end user perspective?
Yeah, so it's a web interface, and as I mentioned earlier, Recon Scanner will collect all this data, right? And then it's going to do the mapping. So what you see there on the screen, it's the timeline, or the different events that had been detected, right? And you can see there the there's a column there for the type, the MITRE technique, right? And you see the T1, whatever the number is for that technique. So in that, I think on the screen, I see program execution, file access, and so on, right? As I said, there are more than 400 techniques. And obviously with the exact time when it happens. And then on the left side, you see, different ways to filter that information, obviously depending on, based on the server, based on the type of technique, and so on, right? In the case of the backup, Veeam backup servers, we also, looking at some of the specific events, right? If someone is deleting backups, or if someone is creating accounts, obviously that will be suspicious activity that we can map. And then from here you can flag some of those. You can go to some of the other screens, get reports. But the main thing here is the timeline, and that will, and then go into some of the detail, and that will tell you more about the potential situation, right? Another key part that you just reminded me is, while this is for a feature now part of Veeam Data Platform, we see more and more that we're bringing together the IT administrator, the IT engineer, backup administrator, working closely with their security teams, because this information, this type of information, it's they're much more familiar with from the security team perspective. So we're adding one more feature here to bring those two together, right? Security teams and IT organizations, which we've been talking about this for a long time.
That's a fantastic description. Thank you so much. So we actually did get lobbed the question here from the chat from Mr. T, and it is, there any type of training material out there or certification on the recon scanner that someone could get into for more information?
We're making it part of the Veeam Data Platform training. I think it's already available there. Certification, just like the same certifications that we have as part of the different Veeam programs there, right? Remember, this is very important, really good feature, but it's just one of the so many other features that we have at VDP. So that will be part of the same programs.
Awesome. So we now know what the product is that we're talking about. We have an idea what the interface looks like, but let's start taking a look at the use case and how this applies to an environment. Go ahead and take it away. Walk us through what we're looking at here.
Sure. Look, I had the opportunity to talk to a customer. I love to talk to customers, and small organization, local government. Like many local governments, not enough budget, right, for security features, for many features, but they do have Veeam Data Platform, right? And the customer there was very proud to tell me, we're doing our backups all the time, and we're testing our recoveries, and get all the thumbs up from us, right? That's what we want to see. People, making sure that they have a good schedule of backups and protection, and also testing their recoveries and doing the recoveries really fast. So all that good. But they were telling us, if you show us on the the other thing is, we've seen that these small organizations, actually increasingly local governments here in the US, but everywhere in the world, they become targets of these cyber attacks, because the threat actors know that they don't have enough security protections, their security tools out there, and for example, local government, they do have information about taxes, about the finances of the town, online services, to go and request a permit or do some transaction. So it becomes really, it's important information, right? It's private, sensitive information that you want to protect. So definitely a target for those threat actors. If we move to the next slide, this customer basically say, well, look, we have now recon scanner as part of VDP. Let's take a look, right? So they installed the recon scanner, which, as I said, is a lightweight agent software that collects data. They installed it in a couple of servers. Didn't see much activity. They went and added to a few more, and immediately they started seeing that timeline, right? And they started, as I said, we do the mapping directly to those TTPs. And I don't know if you can see on the slide there, it's a bit tiny, but it was a login attempts, right? And high volumes of login attempts, which is obviously not normal. We blocked there the actual IP address, but obviously not normal. And by the way, those IP addresses came from different countries. I don't know if people can read there. Some countries that obviously they had no business for this local government, right? So if we move to the next slide, with that information coming from Recon Scanner, the IT team would really just went directly to the security team and said, look, we're looking at this, right? And you see there on the chart that all of a sudden, as soon as we added Recon Scanner to collect data from the servers, we see these hundreds, if not thousands, of login attempts. So security team immediately said, look, yes, that's a problem. That shouldn't be happening, right? We shouldn't be receiving login attempts from countries in Eastern Europe. So they immediately took action to block that, right? That was basically a brute force attack, right? Constant attempts of login. They can do it in different ways. The most common is, they're attempting different password every time, right? They're trying to brute force until they guess that correct password. And of course, goes back to the recommendations of, make sure that you have strong passwords, right? Make sure that you change your password regularly. And, obviously the shorter, the easier, just with characters, it's easier to just basically, based on the probabilities of, quicker getting that password. And then once they are in, a lot of things can happen, right? Threat actors, once they get in, they move laterally and they try to kind of upgrade their level of permissions and, trying to find the best place to get the most damage, right? To exfiltrate data or to encrypt data or even launch some other type of attacks. Like we've seen a lot of denial of service attacks and so on. I was just doing a talk last week at our conference at Veeam, and I was telling the audience that we see not only the dual extortion, which is exfiltration and then encryption, but in some cases we see even triple extortion, which is the potential of launching another type of attack, like a denial of service or harassing executives, harassing customers to pay the ransom, right? So that's a triple extortion. So I think a great story here where we were able really to quickly identify, prevent that those servers being compromised and potential really, really tough ransomware attack there.
Absolutely. And it's amazing what a threat actor can do once they've gained that little bit of footing inside of your environment. So let's go ahead and take a look at that map one more time before we wrap up here and see who's listening in with us. So it looks like in the Americas, we got some pluses on the California side, Louisiana, Georgia. Let's head over to Europe here. And we got the United Kingdom joining us. Wow, that's getting a little late on that side. And even more so, we have Brazil. And let's see, South Africa.
South Africa.
South Africa is what I meant to say there. Fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. We've had so much information. Thank you so much for that, Javier. Do you have any last words for where someone should go if they have more questions or want to learn more about this recon scanner?
Yeah, I mean, we have plenty of information on our website. Please reach out to some of our experts. I know we always happy to chat about these, doing what we call the data resilience workshops as well. We have a number of actually things on a lot of content now. We just published a couple of reports, so we have a lot of information to share with our customers. Yeah.
Awesome. So I know this is your first time on here, but I know you do a lot of other things out in the community. Where will we catch you next?
Well, so we are, last week we announced the 2025 ransomware trends and proactive strategies report. It's a long name. Actually, before that is from risk to resilience, 2025 ransomware trends report. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. We have great information. This comes from a survey of 1,300 security professionals, IT and security professionals, especially executives, global across all industries. We do this every year. So we have plenty of a lot of good information to talk about. Maybe I can give you one right now, one number. It's 69% of those organizations. So 69 of 1,300 suffered at least one ransomware attack last year in 2024. So we have an improvement over the year before. It was 75. We went to 69. But it's still something that is happening every day. So we'll be doing a webinar about that, and we have also some content about the data resilience maturity model. That's a topic for another time.
That's fantastic. So I want to thank everyone that stuck it out with us to the end here, learned about the recon, check out those more resources that he was talking about, and join us next week for an insight on Entra ID and Salesforce from Kirsten Stoner and Andre Sadler. Thank you.
Thanks.